Hello guys, welcome to part 6 of Legacy. First of all, this story doesn't belong to me, I'm just narrating it. If you want to read it for yourself, you can go down in the description and click the link to read it for yourself. So that being said, let's get into the video. Chapter 6 Jutsus and Dreams. Couple weeks later, a couple of days after Naruto found Hinata, he asked if she would like to live with him, to which she accepted. Then they began to do everything together, living, eating, and training. They would even sleep to cuddle together. Naruto taught Hinata the Kagebushan, and even though she could only make one, it was enough. They started sending them to the academy, except in days where there was taijutsu training. Naruto also took Hinata to the Hokage and explained everything that happened. To say that the Hokage was pissed was an understatement, but since she was considered an orphan, and now Sarutobi agreed to give her a month allowance until they became genin. Naruto suggested Hinata that they kept their connection a secret until they were older. He didn't want the villagers to give her the same treatment receives. In the academy, each took their different streets to not arouse suspicion, and so they started sending Kagebushan to the academy and training together. Hinata during the last days got to meet the QB, and when she found him with the gates open, she fainted. Now we find the couple in a training ground. Naruto pulled chakra paper and gave on to Hinata. Okay, Hima, this is chakra paper. It is used to test elemental affinity. Just push chakra to it and we will see. Excellent. Naruto pushing a chakra to his paper. It crumbled all together, showing a high affinity for lightning element. Then the paper is split in two and bursted into flames. See, I have three affinities. My primary seems lightning, and secondary swing and fire. He said, as he already suspected fire and lightning from his father. After all, he was an Uchiha, and his Raishin is a reaction lightning element technique. So the wind must come from my mother. It was a shame that he didn't have any defensive element, but he could always create his own technique. Hinata pushed chakra to her paper and it split in two, getting both sides wet. Looks like you have wind like me and also otter. Now then, let's start training. I will start with fire since our village is known for them. You should start with water because wind is extremely rare in Konoha. He explained, and both started the usual way. Naruto made 100 Kage Bushono and tried to burn a leaf, and Hinata getting it wet. Naruto and Hinata both went to the library in Hanges. They didn't want any problems and got a few techniques for each of their natures. Naruto decided to go into the Uchiha compound since the Uchiha were known for their fire techniques, and with the Sharingan they could have plenty of techniques for all elements. Well, actually, they would be breaking into a clan library and stealing technique. But Naruto was an Uchiha, so he should have access to them. Outside the Uchiha compound, late night, both Naruto and Hinata stood outside the Uchiha compound dressed purely in black. Naruto had his Sharingan activated as well Hinata's Byakugan to check any other shinobi making their way through the gates and into the library that was located in the main house. They spotted their classmate Sasuke, who was awake. They quickly got behind him and knocked him out with a chop to the neck and made their way to the library. The library was huge, to say at the least, as expected for a powerful, power-hungry clan with copying eyes. The library was divided in sections: ninja arts, clan history, records, and diaries. Both of them made their way to the shinobi section, and it had ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu section. The ninjutsu section was driven in elements, divided in elements: fire element, water element, earth element, wind element, lightning element, and non-elemental technique. Each of this section was subdivided and had scrolls on how to learn each of these manipulate, but also techniques for various ranks. They started going through a few scrolls until Hinata said they are all blank. She said, getting a confused look from Naruto. Naruto could easily see the instruction for the jutsus until he discovered it. I get it. Only someone with the Sharingan can read the contents of the scrolls. To anyone else, they seem empty. It's a neat technique, actually, he said, getting a frown from Hinata. Don't worry, I will read them all and teach you the water jutsus I find, he said, making 20 shadow clones and started going through the techniques. Fire element, great fireball jutsu, C rank, sends a massive fireball to the enemy. Phoenix Fireball Jutsu. C rank sends small fireballs to the enemies that burns on contact. Dragon Fire Jutsu. C rank sends a torrent of fire spread in the form of a dragon towards the enemy. Great Dragon Fire Jutsu. B rank sends a torrent of fire shaped in the form of a dragon towards the enemy. Improved version of the dragon fire technique. Crave B rank sends a fireball to the ground that explodes, creating massive heat waves. The ash pile burning. B rank sends a stream of chakra empowered gunpowder and surrounds the enemy. The user can enlight the cloud by clicking its teeth, creating great explosion. Water element. Water clone. B rank creates a water clone with 10% of the original strength. The water shuriken. D rank creates and sends to the enemy's water form shurikens. The number varies with the amount of chakra. Water whip. C rank. The user creates a whip of water that can restrain or do the damage to the enemy. Exploding water wave. A rank. The user expels large quantities of water through his mouth. The crash run onto the enemy. Great exploding water wave. S rank. Improved version of Shushan. Waterfall vortex. A rank creates a waterfall that then clashes down onto the enemy. Water dragon. B rank creates a water dragon that captures and smashes the enemies into the ground. Water wall. C rank creates a defensive water wall. Water prison. C rank creates a spear of water that traps the enemy within, preventing their escape. Water bullet. C rank. The user launches couple of water bullets to the enemy. Earth element. Earth Bushin. Earth clone. C rank creates an earth clone. A double suicide destruction jutsu. D rank. The user grabs the enemies from underground and emerges from It be burying the enemy. Earth Dragon Bullet B rank. The user sends many Earth bullets to the target. Mud River B rank. The user creates a mud river that crashes into the enemy. Underworld Swamp A rank. The user transforms the underground into a swamp that swallows and crushes the enemy. Earth Wall C rank. The user creates an earth wall for defense. Earth Sphere C rank. The user creates Earth Sphere that emerges from underground under the enemy. Wind Element Wind Release C rank. The user breathes and releases small wind that allows for reception while mid-air. Great Breakthrough C rank. The user experiences a powerful and composed gust of air that blows the enemies away. Wind Shuriken B rank. The user envelops his own shuriken with a layer that slices through everything. Vacuum Wind Bullet A rank. The user creates bullets for high pressurized air that are shot at the enemy. Airblade A rank. The user exhales a wind-like blade that slices through anything. Pressured pressurized wind bomb A rank. The user exhales a large sphere of pressurized air that explodes on contact. Wind wave C rank. The user claps his hand together and unleashes a powerful wave of air, not needing to inhale. Lightning element lightning ball C rank. The user creates a ball of lightning that is hurled at the enemy, shocking him. Lightning Clone A rank. A shadow clone created with Lightning Chakra. When destroyed, this chakra is transformed to the enemy, shocking him. Flash Darkness B rank. The element a lightning emits a lightning sphere from his hand that impels the enemy. Electronic Murder B rank. The user creates a wave of electricity that shocks everything around. Flash flare B rank. An illusion technique that blinds the enemy with bright light. Genjutsu beginner of darkness A rank. The user traps the enemy with a black void, blinding the enemy and dulling other senses. This illusion cannot be disappeared, only the user cancel it or it forced to release it. Hellfire Jutsu B rank. Creates an illusion that makes the enemy think he is being burned alive. Tree Binding Death B rank. Illusion technique that grows a tree behind the enemy, freezing him place and allowing for the user to attack the enemy. Slacking Streaks C rank. The user locks eyes with the enemy, effectively paralyzing him in place. Sharingan required. Flash surrounding C rank. The user casts an illusion over and area amplify its appearance, altering its appearance. Double flash surroundings B rank. The T technique places an illusion within the original illusion to mislead the enemy should he break the first one. Okay, Hinata-chan, I have got most of them memorized. Let's go, he said, and both of them left the Uchiha compound with a large inventory of techniques to later practice. They left the compound and were walking home. It was still early or late, depending on the perspective. It was around 2 a.m. Hey Hinata-chan, since we still have time, do you want to check out the Hyuga clan library too. Naruto asked. He knew it was a sore subject for a subject Hinata's family. He still remembered to help Hinata achieve one of her dreams. Flashback. Couple of days after Hinata started living with Naruto, Naruto and Hinata were eating together after their morning workout and started talking about their dreams and hopes for the future. Oh, Hinata-chan, what are your dreams for the future? Naruto asked. Hinata was still a bit shy around him, but it was starting to change. At least her stuttering and fainting was gone almost. I know I want to become a powerful Konoichi to prove that I am not weak, but even though I was dissolved from my clan, I wish I could get rid of the cage bird seal and unite the families. I know I may sound naive, but even my father expelling from the clan, the branch members were always good to me, and I want to help them back, she said with confidence, and even started helping. She said with confidence. She didn't know it yet, but Naruto's personality was starting to rub on her. She was becoming more confident and even started helping Naruto in his pranks. You are not naive. You are a kind person, and I did promise to remove your seal. And when I do, we can plan to help the branch family, he explained. After all, with the help of his Kagebushon and his father's note on Fuing Jutsu, Naruto was progressing rather nicely. End of flashback. Hmm. I don't know if it's a good idea. Would be hard. It would be hard to sneak in unnoticed. She said. After all, the Byakugan was frequently used for scouting missions and was extremely difficult to sneak up onto a Hyuga member, much less break into the compound. Oh please, they all say that they have all seeing eyes, but that didn't stop me from breaking into the compound and planting each powder on their underwear. Naruto saying remembered the laughs the Hyuga received when they were constantly itching themselves. That was you? She asked, surprised. Of course, they always were stuck up pricks, but I didn't do it to you. Didn't do it to you. He said, assuring her. Okay, if you are sure we can sneak in, then I am in, she said. They made their way to the Hyuga compound and watched for a far away. Naruto expected his seeing ability and found four guards guarding the entrance. Thankfully, they didn't have the Byakugan activated. They made their way closer to the wall and waited for the guards to end their routine check. They channeled chakra to their feet and climbed the wall. Once inside, Hinata guided Naruto to the library since Naruto didn't actually know the compound all that well. Once inside the library, the small things happened in the same thing happened in the Uchiha compound. Only a Byakugan user can read the scrolls. Apparently, ninjutsu and genjutsu were apparently non-existing. They must have thought it was inferior for rely on anything else other than their bloodline. Hinata quickly opened the scroll and started copying them and giving them to Naruto, which he was storing them in a storage seal he brought. Naruto's Nifuin Jutsu was quite good for his age. He knew how to make simple storage scrolls for all kinds and was starting on a mid-level fuin jutsu. They left the compound with especially for the gentle fist style, which Hinata already knew the basic and the technique they used. Iki Kyushu, a trigrams science ear palm. The user concentrates a chakra on his palm and thrusted it forward, sending a chakra wave to the enemy. 8 trigrams for 64 palms. For 64 palms, the user closes the main 64 tenkutsu for of the enemies and at an amazing speed. He 8 trigrams, 128 palms, similar to the previous technique. However, it closes 128 points, knocking out the enemy almost immediately. 8 trigrams palm of the hand, evenly spin. The user started spinning and receiving chakra from releasing chakra from all his tenketsu, form a protective dome around him that deflects all attacks. It was considered the Hyuga's ultimate defense. Armored with new techniques, they started training with more mostly Hinata. She wanted to master the Hyuga gentle fist to later in life prove to them that with hard work one can outclass a genius. That's all for today's video. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. If you wanna be notified for when part 7 comes out, then you need to subscribe. Bye bye.